Ever since I finished the train canopy on the Triton and started the 12-volt setup, everyone told me do not get the King's battery. So, in today's video, I'm going to be answering the question, should you be buying a King's lithium battery for your setup? Whoa. Before we start, make sure you guys subscribe. As you can see, we are so close to 1,000 subscribers. It'd mean the world if you guys could just click that subscribe button. Thank you. So essentially what I have in my 12-volt setup is a BCDC charger from Red Arc, and that's a 25 amp. If you guys don't know what a BCDC charger is, it basically allows your start battery to charge another battery while the car's running and then disconnects it while it's not running, so it's not drawing any power off each other. So basically I have that powering the King's lithium battery. I also have a 110-watt solar panel on the roof which connects straight to the BCDC charger and charges the lithium battery. So these are a pretty smart thing, and yes, you can run your normal battery under the bonnet that's not a lithium, which would be just like a standard lead acid battery. You can run that with the lithium battery because the Red Arc BCDC charger allows you to do that. As you can see, I've got two fuses here, start battery and that battery obviously. As you can see here, I've got the Victron shunt. If you guys that don't know what that is, that basically goes across the ground wires on your battery, and that allows you to read what's coming in and out of your battery at all times and allows you to read many more stuff. They're actually a pretty smart thing. And I'll show you that on the other side. Okay, so this is the Victron here, and as you can see, it's reading 13.5 volts, and that's because of the 110-watt solar panel. But the lithiums do read a bit higher because they're a bit of a better battery. So you can go through the settings. So if I go up and down, you can see all the amps, and you can see the batteries at 100%, which is awesome. And then you can also go through and see what amps are being drawn and put in to your battery, which is a pretty cool feature. And you got to set that up with the Victron. They're actually not too expensive, and they're a really good feature to have in your car. And you can also get the app on your phone, which connects straight to the shunt, and you can read it off your phone instead of having one of these in your car. Anyways, let's get onto the King's battery. Before I got the King's 120 amp lithium battery, I had so many people, especially my old man, because he's an auto electrician and I'm an apprentice, and he told me do not buy cheap. So I didn't listen to him and I bought cheap, and I've actually got to say I have had no problems with the King's lithium battery. The one thing that made me want to get this is it has a BMS, and that is a battery management system. So when your lithium drops to a certain voltage, it'll cut out the whole system, so that eliminates the fires with lithium batteries. When lithium batteries first came out, there was a lot of fires and stuff like that happening because they didn't have a system like this, so they'd just drop too low and they'd set on fire. But these actually are smart enough to have one of them in there so it'll cut everything out. Had that happen to me because we have a carport out the front, and I had this sitting under the carport, and I accidentally left my fridge on and the battery went down to 10.5 volts. And as soon as I took it for a drive and left it out in the sun again, it charged straight back up because lithium batteries are meant to do that. The main difference between a lithium and an AGM battery is on an AGM battery, you can only go down to the lowest voltage once, and you can't use as much of the battery. On a lithium battery, you can use 80% of that battery's voltage as many times as it can last, and in an AGM, it'll just die straight away. So lithiums are awesome, but you got to make sure you have the right setup for it, and that's why there's a BCDC charger and stuff like that. So, as I was saying, many people told me not to get this. I have got a few mates. Shout out to you, Matty. I know you've got the King's lithium battery, and you're probably the reason I got one because you have one in your camp trailer. They're actually a really good battery. I haven't had many problems with it, or any problems at all. And I thought, for the price, you can't really beat it. Yes, it's not probably as good as the expensive batteries and stuff like that, but it does the job. And if you're on a budget and you want a lithium battery, this is the perfect battery because it works. I haven't had any problems with it. You do see many YouTubers saying they have problems and stuff with these batteries, but that is because the rest of their system probably isn't right. They don't have the BCDC charger, they don't have a solar panel, they're just running it off their car. And people expect, even if you don't have the solar panel, that your fridge will just keep running because it's a lithium battery, and that is not true. So don't listen to what people say about the King's batteries. They're actually a pretty good battery. They have the BMS, which is the battery management system. They have that in there like all the other expensive lithium batteries, but these are just cheaper and they work just the same. You've got to make sure as well, major thing, they can't be in a hot area without vents. So this is probably the max I'd put it in. This is a hot canopy. It gets pretty hot in here. If you put it in somewhere like a camper under your bed or something without the venting in it, that's when it has a chance of setting on fire, because these will overheat and they will explode. So make sure you have the correct venting and ventilation for a lithium battery. And yes, you can place them on the outside of your vehicle. That is not illegal. It is not anything. So yeah, they are a pretty good battery. They have a pretty hard case on it, as you can see. I've put this one to the test. There's a few scratch marks on it and stuff. I just chuck everything I can on top of it and it's lasted. I've also tested this battery many times. We have done a lot of off-grid camping, me and my girlfriend, and we have not had the battery fail on us once, and we've always been reliable. It has always been reliable. We've been charging stuff overnight. We've left the fridge running overnight. We've actually really tested this thing and it has not failed once. So if you guys are wondering, yes, it is a good battery. Even though it's cheap and what people say about Kings, this is a good battery. And I'm even running it with the Kings fridge and they draw a lot of power. And I'm being honest with that, they do draw a lot of power when those fans kick in. And the fan kicks in a lot because this is a hot canopy. As you can see, it's black, so it attracts the heat. And that draws a lot of power when those fans kick in, and the Kings battery has not gone down off charge yet, and it is still lasting. Alright guys, thank you so much for watching this video. If you guys have any 12-volt questions, let me know in the comments. As I'm an auto electrician, I can answer whatever you need. So yeah, thanks so much for watching. Don't forget to subscribe, and I'll catch you in the next one.